What is the worst thing of a research career? Stick with me here. I'm going to tell you some things that a lot of people think are the worst things, but I don't think that's the case. I want to tell you exactly what is the worst thing towards the end. So you might think that it has to do with maybe you're not making that much money when you first start out. And that is very true. Everybody knows going into the career that it is a financial sacrifice. Everybody knows that you probably don't make that much money because of that career choice. Everybody tells you that. Don't do it. Everybody knows that you are going to be relatively low status for a long time and it's going to feel not great. You're a student. Everybody understands that. You're going into it, you're a student, and you're starting from the beginning yet once again. Everybody knows that you likely have to move to different locations when you get into the career, and that's part of it. Everybody knows all of these things that I think most people think are the worst things of a research career path. But here's the actual truth. Here's the real thing. And I want to tell you how to actually deal with this by getting through and hopefully becoming better. The worst thing is everybody tells you, the whole world tells you that you're stupid. The whole world tells you that you're not doing enough. The whole world tells you that you're somehow problematic. It's a fixation on the negative. It's a fixation on all of the problems that you have. And the entire market is set up that way. It's completely unforgiving in how it's actually set up that way. You go into it expecting that you'll get a job, but you'll realize you can't get a job because there's some deficits that you have. You go into it thinking that you'll be able to get research publications or conference publications or whatever, but because the market focuses on the negative aspects of what you've done, you'll never get those things accepted. The entire focus is on your weaknesses. It's not focused on any of the positive things that you have actually done. And so what you tend to think about is that you think of yourself as a failure, you think of yourself as problematic, you think of yourself as somebody that doesn't really get it, somebody that's detached. Most people, I would say the majority, they will tell you that they've gone through very dark, deep moments in their life. And if you start going down that rabbit hole, it's not a fun thing to look at. There's all sorts of statistics that suggest this. It's not so fun. So, what can we actually do about this? I think the thing that allows me to get up and to deal with myself, I've been doing this career for 20 years, and it does eat me up sometimes. And I'm going to tell you that because there is this focus on the negative. But what allows me to get up every day is knowing that I just do my best. And I'm going to tell you a secret. That best is often not that good. That best is a little bit. What you realize as soon as you get into the career, probably about a month in, the expectation for what you should be doing is about 10, 20 times more than what you can actually do. The expectation is that there is so much work that you have to do to get to where you should get to, but you can't get there because on a day-to-day, nothing much changes. It's just a little bit. It's tiny. There's only so much that you can do in a day, and it's painful. A good day for most researchers, normatively speaking, thinking about what they actually do, they write a paragraph. Now, the expectation for most researchers is that they write 10 pages. Some days I get there. I can write 10 pages, no problem. And I write a lot and a lot and a lot. But most of the time, most of us write a paragraph, maybe write a page, just little tiny bits, but the expectation is that that is enough. It is not enough. The expectation is that that writing should be a lot better than what it actually is. And so what do? How do you deal with this? You realize that you're good enough. You realize that it's okay for me to go for walks. You realize that deep down inside that I am a stable person with who I am. You realize that the market is a beast. It is, that gobbles people up. And the only thing that I can do is focus on me and what I do on a daily basis. And that, for me, is very simple. It's not complicated. There's not much to it. I get up, try to do a little bit of work, try to do something where I get some exercise. I try to be nice to the people that are around me. I try to do very, very simple things. And that's the only thing I can actually control. That's the only thing that I can do in my life. The rest of it is a bunch of hocus pocus that really cannot change. I have this beef with productivity literature, which is a huge literature. And I know I'm in that particular area, but the beef is this. The beef is focused that you can motivate people, that people are just naturally lazy. That's the underlying assumption with motivation and productivity literature, but that's not true. The beef is that we actually have different effects that are playing in, and that's because of different things related to how things are actually organized and structured, and how technology plays in this productivity gains that we actually get. So it has very little to do with motivation, has very little to do with individuals not working at their highest potential, but it has everything to do with other things that are going around in the arena around them. And so what do we do when we internalize that sort of logic that it's a simple motivation thing, or that you just need to be more productive? That's the language of academic literature. That's the language of academy, of research. You just need to be more productive, and that's what we measure as research productivity, which is a joke, because you're actually not measuring research productivity. You're measuring outcomes that have happened from work that you did 10 years ago. Very little to do with immediate productivity at this given moment. So what do we do? What do I do when I see that? I detach. I simply say I'm good enough. I do my thing. I do the things that make me feel complete. And if the market doesn't accept me for who I am, I'm going to go find something else. And there's wonderful activities. There's wonderful opportunities for people like me that are not in the research game, that are looking for somebody that wants to be around me, that would accept who I am. There's so many other people, so many other jobs outside of this one narrowly defined thing. And I'm okay with looking broadly. I'm okay with myself, because I just focus on this beauty that we see around us, this little tiny me thing. That's the only thing I can affect on a given day. The rest of it is nonsense.